You guys, you ever had a moment where like an old man's flirting with you and then it gets really weird for a second? Not too long ago, I was down watching a soccer game. Old man with his buddies. He's flirting with my friend group and I. Then he turns to me and he goes, "Now, how old would you date?" Like, "Oh, don't do that, Gerald. Please don't do that." And so then he goes like, if they were like as charming and as handsome as someone like me. I felt like the meme with the dog and the dinosaur in the background. And then he was like, "Yeah, how old are you?" And I was like, 26. And he goes, "Yeah, I've got a son like a little bit younger than you. That would be weird." You don't say. So anyways, that was kind of creepy. Speaking of dating, hi everyone, it's Isabella here and welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about an interesting topic that I have of course wanted to dive into. If you guys are new here, I have made a video and just kind of briefly talked about like trad wife content and kind of highlighted it in like a deep dive and then like a general like reactionary commentary video. I'll have those videos linked in the description below. But this topic specifically, oh my God, it has been on my radar and it's leading into other like little webs of things I want to speak about, which is the stay-at-home girlfriend trend. I know. So this is going to be a lot and I'm going to be very honest when I talk about this video. We are going to discuss this new wave of people and influencers or people who are attempting to be influencers that are making content around being a stay-at-home girlfriend, not a stay-at-home wife, not nothing, a stay-at-home girlfriend, where they're trying to pretty much show off their day in the lives, how things are for them, pushing a perspective of how amazing their life is and trying to make it into their internet persona. And I want to talk to you about how this is incredibly dangerous in my opinion and so many other reasons why this is a huge problem in our society right now in terms of not protecting yourself as a young woman and so much more. So we're going to dive into that today. It's going to be really good. So buckle up, get ready to grab a snack. And real quickly, I do want to take a moment to thank the sponsor of today's video. Do you see anything different? Do you see anything different on me? I actually have earbuds in and you couldn't even tell. Sleep and peace are two very important things. However, when it comes to, for example, an economy flight from Chicago to Italy, which I'm going to be taking here very soon, I know I'm going to need all the help that I can get to power through the 10-hour flight. That's why I want to introduce you guys to the partner of today's video, which is FitNexa, and introduce you guys to the FitNexa SomniPods 3. The reason why these absolutely piqued my interest was all the technology involved with it. Number one is comfort. Again, I want something that I can actually fall asleep in, and I went out of my way to sleep in these things for quite some time, and I sleep like crazy. They're super comfortable. I don't have to worry about them being off. Now, the second reason why I absolutely love these is they have multiple different settings depending on my needs. So they're not just for sleep, they're for everyday use. So if I need to get some work done while editing, I can listen to my music. If I want to go into the sleep mode, and it will play sleep sounds or any other music that I'm looking for that helps me relax and unwind. On top of that, their noise reduction technology is phenomenal. I actually purposely one night ran my washer and dryer with the doors open and everything, and I put these on. I was really impressed with how quiet it made everything. They also offer a 30-day risk-free trial, so if you are interested but you don't know if they're going to be for you, go for it, and if you don't like it, you can just return them. And for my audience, they're giving a $10 off discount for the SomniPods 3. So if you guys are interested, just go to the link in the description below or pin comment and your discount will be automatically applied. Thank you so much to FitNexa for partnering with me on today's video. And now let's get into it. So we have a very interesting situation on our hands with the stay-at-home girlfriend trend. Now, if you guys don't know what that is, pretty much it's somebody who is like trying to take these stay-at-home wife perspectives, but they're doing that as a girlfriend where they have a boyfriend that financially supports them. There are specific like characteristics that I see with a lot of these content creators is they're most of the time very young. There are some times that they are like, I would say like 30s or so, but most of the time for what I'm seeing creator-wise, they are very young. Some of them are fresh out of high school. A lot of them are very against education, but some of them went through high school. There's some people who they dropped out of high school. There's just a lot in there. And then many of them have religion or have this idea that this is what they're quote supposed to do. So that's kind of the encompassment of this, but a lot of them are incredibly young. Okay, so this first creator is the name of Bree, a stay-at-home girlfriend. That's literally like her username. I'm not kidding. And this is the video that got over 1 million views and lots of engagement. This is what came across my For You page originally. This is the question that she's answering is, what do your parents think about you being a stay-at-home girlfriend?
I'm a stay-at-home girlfriend at 19, and one of the most common questions I do get is what my parents think about this. And so I don't stick to my dad, so I can't really get his answer, but my mom, she was not too happy about it at first when I first told her that I wasn't going to go to college and I don't want to work, because she really drilled it into my head when I was little that I had to go to college and that I need to start thinking about what I'm going to do when I was like 10 years old. She's like, she had my college fund ready for me. She always asked me what I wanted to be. Like, she was ready for me to go to college. And when I told her that I wasn't, she was pretty upset. Especially because my older sister didn't go, so both of us didn't go. So I think that made her even more upset. But she's definitely came around to it now that it's been a year since I haven't worked. or obviously going to college. So she's definitely came around, but I do think she still wants me to go to college. But I think she knows I'm not.
There's a lot that I want to say, and I want to speak as someone who thought she knew everything at 19 and having a lot of empathy for this, talking about where some of this stuff is coming from and the real deeper issues that, again, I don't see people talking about enough when it comes to these communities of people like her and this content creator who just think that this is normal. So one thing I want to say as a 26-year-old who at 20, like 19, 20, 21, thought that I knew everything and I knew a lot. I promise you, I mean this with all love in the world, I did not. I did not. As a 26-year-old now, in April I will be 27, I'm literally like, wow, I wasn't dumb, but I didn't know everything. So I really empathize with that. And especially, it doesn't help when we have had such like content pushed into our society that is deemed that is a huge aspect of like what makes you a woman, is getting married and having kids. And it also pushes that that's where your happiness lies. And again, that's not me saying that that's not, where you can be happy, but that's not everyone's cup of tea. I remember even when I was younger and I would talk about career stuff, it was a very common thing to be told to me by like just other people in general of, oh, are you sure you want to do that? Will you have time for kids? Will you have time for a husband? And every single time I talked about something super ambitious, that was a response. So I understand that there is a huge societal aspect that has really embodied that this is the way to be a woman, to be important, to be fulfilled, and also especially for those who are religious, which as I can see on her, she has a cross necklace. I can only assume that she's probably Christian, like how I was raised. You're probably thinking that that is the way and how you're supposed to be. And I'm here to tell you, whether you're religious or not, you should not have to do that. Point blank, period. Now, the second thing that I want to talk about is the stay-at-home girlfriend idea is, to me, 10 times worse than being a stay-at-home wife. And the reason why I say that is, but if you're divorcing, there are possibilities if you do that where you have a prenup, where you have more things that could potentially help you out more. I'm not saying, we've already got into that realm of how that could be incredibly dangerous for a woman, but there are possibilities for it to go better. If you are a stay-at-home girlfriend, there's literally nothing tying you to this person. They can quite literally benefit off of your free labor. They can benefit off of having you around. They can literally, if they can feed you, they can starve you. Okay. That was something I remember both of my parents told me. They were like, if they can feed you, they can starve you and keep you stuck, and you never want that to happen. And this is a perfect example of that. And even right here, there's a comment that I'm going to save where somebody said, no hate. I genuinely am wondering what your plan is though, if your relationship doesn't work out. Obviously, no one wants to think about that, but it's important to always have a backup plan to make sure you're protected. That's a very, very good and critically thinking filled conversation. The original creator said, very valid question. Honestly, call me crazy. We have had very hard talks about and been through the rough patches, and we both agreed that nothing could happen and that would cause us to break up. Yes, it's going to be hard, but we both understand that. Also, my boyfriend owns his own business and he doesn't give up no matter what he thinks things will work out. I think it also matters the person mindset, which helps tremendously. Now, a big thing that I notice with this category of content as we kind of continue reacting to this is a lot of them think that they are the exception to the rule. I must tell you, I used to have this perspective years ago that if I did everything right, then there's no way that somebody wouldn't leave me because, well, I'm perfect, right? I make sure my body looks great for them. I make myself all done up. I do everything right. I'm kind. I maybe if I'm quieter, maybe if I do all these things, maybe I'll make them happy. It doesn't matter. You cannot control another human being's actions. So just because you exhaust yourself to fulfill this role does not mean they're going to fulfill their role and their promises as well. A really great quote that I have seen all across TikTok is, the same person you get married is not exactly the same you are divorcing or are breaking up with. And that is unfortunately really sad, but that many times can happen where some people think that they know their person and then they wake up and that's not the case. And this also kind of connects to the idea that this content is heavily glorified. Like as you can see here, and even going onto this content creator's page, I'm going to scroll through. All of these videos are all about being a stay-at-home girlfriend and relationships. And as you can tell just from the content alone, like this is her personality. And again, I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm just being honest. This is her entire life and what she's into, because that is where she's putting her value in, is I am a stay-at-home girlfriend. This is it. This is why you should do it too. And it's incredibly sad because it's not talking about how this can go wrong. Now, with this kind of content as well, it's not just talking videos, it's showing a day in the life. Because what I noticed with some of these very young creators is they like to highlight how good their life is, because if they hold their value and worth in this lifestyle, it's almost like, well, I won and you haven't. You're working, you're doing all this. So I want to show off how my life can be good because you should do it too. And oddly, this content is pushing for other younger women and girls to get into a very unhealthy system where they are 100% solely dependent on another partner that has no legal grounds to support them or anything or protect them or nothing, but just doing it because that's what they should do or that's how you can be happy. So I want to show you guys another example of a day in the life video about what it's like to be a stay-at-home girlfriend.
Spend the day with me as a stay-at-home girlfriend. Woke up around 8:30 today and I really was just not feeling well. I had a few things to do, so I just got up out of bed and I made my bed and I cleaned up my room. Once I was done cleaning up, I went and I took Lola out to the bathroom. Then you guys already know the drill. I came inside and I made my morning coffee. I swear that I go to sleep every single night looking forward to making my coffee the next day. I had a curbside order at Target to pick up, so I literally just went in my pajamas to go grab that. And I do my own nails, so once I got home, I got busy doing that. Some way, somehow, I ended up going to the gym even though I felt terrible. And I had ordered some jeans online, so I went to pick those up. And I had to go to Walgreens. This is what my nails were looking like once they were all done. Showered and took off my lashes. Tomorrow I'm gonna wash my hair and do them again. Bye, besties.
So notice how this content is really just being a highlight reel of all the positives in every single day, but it's not actually highlighting what a lot of stay-at-home girlfriends are doing. Since if you're not really pursuing anything when it comes to education or having a job, all you really have to do is household chores, keep yourself pretty. Maybe you see some friends or maybe you don't, but that's really about it. It doesn't highlight your cooking and cleaning and taking care of your man's every beck and call. It's not highlighting the times where you can be very lonely. It's not highlighting the ways that this can go south. It's only highlighting, look, I have my man's card. I can do whatever. I'm living really comfortable. Why aren't you doing this too? And it's really feeding this propaganda machine of acting as if this is the best way to live and the way that you can live a soft girl life, which is kind of leading into a deep dive I do want to do in the future, which is the pink pill content, which if you guys have not seen, the pink pill content, in my perspective, is content that pretty much pushes to find rich men, marry this way, and just date in a way that I think is incredibly toxic and really sad. But I think this is kind of connected to it, where it's like, oh, well, you can live really comfortable. Like this man could just take care of you and give you money. And all you have to do is think about your nails and Pilates classes and buying matcha or making a coffee at home. And, you make some meals, but that's, you're being a great woman. You're able to stay in your feminine. But it's disgusting because it then in return demonizes things like getting an education, working, and acting as if you can't have an enjoyable soft life or an enjoyable experience and a way to protect yourself. And it's instead acting as the way to protect yourself from all the toxicity of the world is being a stay-at-home girlfriend. Makes no fucking sense to me.
What did I just create? Our last one. Let's pray for a refill. Your breath is disgusting. I feel like my tongue doesn't always look that furry. I'm doing something wrong. This is my happy place. How'd this get here? How could I forget? The most important beverage of the day. Good morning, Harlow. I like you, but I don't like you. Okay. Come on. How did you remember it was under there? Give it.
Now this creator, the caption actually says, my morning routine now that I'm officially a full-time stay-at-home girlfriend. Now this video was posted up a hot second ago. This is in 2024, but this creator has over 3 million followers on TikTok and she is still a stay-at-home wife.
Yeah, it's true. My boyfriend still leaves me money because I'm still a stay-at-home girlfriend, and I'm going to show you guys what I did today. I started my day with my poppy. This is my favorite flavor. I love it so much with my favorite cup. I low-key drink this every morning because it's just, it's refreshing. I love it. I was super excited when I found out that there was a new one in Pasadena, and that's the closest one to me. And I was like, I have to go. I love the Hailey Bieber smoothie. Okay, call me basic. It's a $20 smoothie, but that shit is so fucking good. Then I got some other treats, and then I went to TJ Maxx. I love the Pasadena TJ Maxx. Is so good. Then I went to Trader Joe's just to get me some cute flowers, and it's pumpkin season, so I got these delicious hold the cone. Like, if you can get those, get them. They're so fucking good. How fucking cute is this bag? Oh my god, I almost started crying. I love small things, which is ironic because Jay's like 6'8". Anyways, I got myself a little coffee, fresh flowers. I got my toes done, and then I just went home and I forgot that I had some skin packages, and then I just made dinner. That's all I did. What did you guys do today?
These videos are only highlighting the benefits. It's not highlighting when maybe you have to ask permission for money. It's not highlighting the fact that you have no access to any assets. It doesn't highlight how miserable this actually can be. Another thing that I find incredibly alarming is the fact that so many of these stay-at-home girlfriend videos are putting and prioritizing this lifestyle over getting an education and a backup plan to protect yourself. The demonization of education, especially in the past several years, is incredibly scary. Like, the literacy crisis is fucking bad. We already know that right now. We have people who are trying to demonize college now. We have more people trying to act as if it is not valuable to get an education, and overall that this is the way of living. Why would you go to college when you could stay at home and lay in bed and let the dogs out and do a full morning routine not interrupted? All you have to do is cook, right? It can't be that bad. Look at all the fun things I get to do all the day. It's like vacation forever. That's how it's painted, when in reality it can go incredibly south for you. Because let's say you get used to a lifestyle like that, and then he decides to fuck his secretary, cheat on you, leave. Are you going to stay because you're used to that lifestyle, or are you going to go? And go to where exactly? And this is another thing that I think this also encourages, is because somebody wants to live a good lifestyle and a comfortable one so much, they may just want to stay and ignore awful behavior, abusive behavior from a partner, simply because they don't want to lose it, or they have no other choice. If you have no choices, then you are going to feel obligated to do whatever you can to please a partner to keep them there. And that's what's so exhausting to me, is this kind of content truly embraces ignoring ways of protecting yourself. And oh, well, I just should let my man lead. He could also lead you to hell. I don't know if we've thought about that. These are all good, amazing experiences and days in the lives until it's not. Many people turn it into glorified maids or are treated incredibly poorly simply because the man is the provider. And additionally, you are propping up his career and success while you have nothing on a resume. And I know this is another thing that I'm noticing with this content is, well, I don't want to work. I don't know a lot of people who genuinely want to work all of the time. Okay, I don't think we should have to work all the time, quite frankly. However, we should be blaming certain systems in place instead of pointing the finger at, well, maybe I should be a stay-at-home partner, because that is exactly how we go back in time and have more people who have less access to freedom, which many women in feminism has fought so hard to have. And here's the thing, I get respecting other people's life choices, but when are we also going to sit back and realize that some choices are very harmful? When are we going to realize that there is some propaganda being pushed online that is trying to encourage younger and younger women and younger girls to get married faster and to have babies faster and not allow themselves to live a life and have experiences, get an education, further their lives, and simply just be single and not jump into a marriage immediately? Because I'm telling you right now, I know significantly more at 26 than I did at 19, and I'm grateful every single day I never got married when I was young. I know I'd be miserable. Like, I flat out know. I know I would not have been as free. And I know I didn't know 100% what I wanted because I didn't live life. I didn't meet more people who were different than me. I didn't just make more friends, I would have never moved to a different city. I wouldn't be moving to LA right now, simply because I would be stuck in the same system over and over again that many people are pushing for me to do. I wouldn't have been able to pursue all these wonderful things had I just experienced that, had I stayed in a relationship and just did what was told and expected of me. Another thing that I'm noticing when it comes to this content is there's a level of cope and elitist mentality, which is really, really weird to me. I mean, I already want to make a video on how child-free people or just people who are not interested in marriage and whatnot, they're heavily demonized, and I think that's very toxic. But I also noticed that some people heavily lean into their biggest success and champion in life is the fact that they're married and have kids. And again, might I make this clear? There is nothing wrong with considering that as an amazing accomplishment. And we notice these creators where if they're staying at home, they're very young and their sole identity, as most of their content is being a stay-at-home girlfriend, and this is all they do in life, they're suddenly wanting to feel like something important is going on and they're doing something that is bigger than everyone else. So therefore, we see content that turns into elitist and shameful of everyone else around them. So yeah, let's look at that.
He took you to dinner? Cute. Mine bought me the restaurant.
This is why you bitches are single and you're not a stay-at-home girlfriend yet? I just made my man dinner, loved it, and now I'm making him cookies. Fresh baked cookies that I made from scratch. You guys should probably get on my level.
This is not a flex you think it is. It is not a flex to have nothing going for yourself to protect yourself. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be normalized to not try and have a safety net. It should be normalized to not have something going for you. Sorry, but we live in the year of 2026. A majority of people have to work, one, to pay their bills, but it shouldn't be normalized to allow every aspect of your safety, well-being, emotional well-being, everything dependent on one dude, okay? Also, another thing I want to point out is we do not talk enough about there are partners who will quite literally act perfect with you and then they make a switch. And I want to tell you from personal experience, I actually remember my last relationship I was in, I cannot express to you how perfect it was. It was perfect at first. It was wonderful. And then it switched. And I went, whoa, what the And then it turned abusive. Then it was awful and scary. And I thought I needed to get out. It was exhausting. Had I been married, had I been financially dependent on him, that would have been really bad. And there's many people who experience that where they think they have an amazing dream partner and then they're stuck and they don't know what to do. And this kind of content also is highlighting to me how if you are in this experience, you're trying to convince your parents, like, this is a great idea, I'm happy, this is what I want to do, and then you end up being wrong, there's a lot of shame involved with that. Like, I remember, oh my God, the shame I felt when my past relationships I realized were really not healthy and I needed to get out of that. Like, it's hard and it's embarrassing to go and tell somebody, you guys are right, like, I need to get out, this is not good. So some people, to avoid that shame, try and make excuses or don't feel like that they can get out. So remember that we are seeing a really cute put together vlog. We're not seeing a lot of the realities that many people experience.
I want a job. I don't want to be a corporate girly. I don't want to climb the ladder. I don't want to be a boss babe. I don't want to do any of that. I don't want to be the breadwinner. I do not want to do that. You know what I want to do? I want to be home. I want to be cooking in the kitchen. I want to be cleaning. I want to be shopping. I want to be making brownies. I want to be cooking dinner.
This audio irritates the absolute fresh hell out of me because it's like, well, I don't want to go up the corporate ladder. Many of us don't want to do things. Many of us don't want to do a lot of shit. Okay, I don't want to have to pick up my dog's shit. I don't. I hate grabbing that little baggie when I'm in my kitten heels before I go for a night out and squatting down in the street, on the sidewalk, and picking it up. You know, that's a very humbling experience for me. But what do I have to do? Do it. Because I made a choice to have my sweet fur baby and I would do anything for her, okay? You know what I don't want to do? Constantly keep paying bills. But a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. There's many things that we don't want to do in society, but also what is the best choice for us long-term to protect ourselves? And many of that, it is working. And here's the thing, I love working. I do. I love my job. I love working. I genuinely thoroughly enjoy it. And I know some people do not. But again, would we rather work and still cook and have a peaceful home? Or would we want to depend on somebody else that can quite literally treat us like shit simply because they pay the Verizon bill? I'm just saying, there's literally a girlfriend, no contract, no nothing to protect you. You're just a stay-at-home girlfriend. The way that can so quickly go south for you is not even funny. And I want to tell y'all, especially for those of you who have possibly been influenced by this content, you don't think you can have a good life. You don't think that you can be soft and happy. One, I'd like to tell you that I have a lovely group of women that are all part of corporate America that are my friends. You know what we're doing? We go out and we have fun. We have our girls' nights. We talk about our problems. We go out on dates. We have fun. We have wonderful, fulfilled, and happy lives and wonderful things going for us. We're creative. We have hobbies. And by the way, for my life, y'all, I'm feeling amazing. I work a shit ton and I'm able to live a very, very wonderful life because I gave it to myself. And I'm not asking someone else permission to use the card or go out or do anything for that matter. Because if I had asked permission, I would not be free. And being a stay-at-home girlfriend with nothing to protect you is not freedom. But this kind of content gives you the vibe that that is the ultimate peace and freedom when it can be your personal hell. Now, another thing I want to mention is the opportunity of being a stay-at-home girlfriend. I feel like this is a new pyramid scheme where we're talking about this is an opportunity to be a stay-at-home girlfriend and this is the best thing. Why would you not take it? I've even seen like little think pieces that men have made where it's like, why do women not want to stay home? Why would they not? This sounds like an amazing thing to do. I would love to tell you why I think it's not an amazing idea, but let's first react talking about it being an opportunity.
I'm a 19-year-old stay-at-home girlfriend, and I kind of wanted to ask y'all a question because I'm kind of curious. Y'all were in the same position as me. If y'all were, I think I was 16 when Hagen, 16 or 17. One of those ages, if your boyfriend owned a business and he was very successful in high school and he told you that you didn't have to go to college and you didn't have to work, would you not take that opportunity? Think of your future. Think about you being with your kids, living a stress-free life, not having to go to college, not having to be stressed out by a job. Am I tripping? Or would most people, 9 out of 10 people would take that opportunity.
Okay, so this is a perfect example of how when you're very young, you think you know it all and you don't think of how things can go incredibly bad. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I actually made a joke with my mom the other day. I was like, I wish I was as stupid as I used to be. Not in the sense of like I want to be stupid, but in the sense of I miss how dumb and optimistic I was about some things, because I genuinely thought like the world was a little bit more like peachy and bright than it actually really is. But you know, at the same time, I'm incredibly grateful for my experiences and my growth as a human being, because I utilize critical thinking skills and I weigh out the pros and cons of everything. So to answer the question of would y'all do the same thing as me if you had the opportunity? It's not actually an opportunity, it's lack and an absence of an opportunity. We are severely downplaying the labor that women do when it comes to be staying home girlfriends and wives. And this is why I get very irritated when I see videos like this, because you have no money, but also you're cooking clean, you're doing a lot of stuff, and then does it keep going, especially when he comes home? Like what is it? Having to ask permission? There's so much things that you have to do around the house and all of this other work that you have to do that ends up being a lot. That ends up being a job that you are doing, but you're just not getting compensated for it whatsoever. Versus if you actually have a job and you're able to be secure and have a relationship that's not attached to them financially supporting you, you can choose to leave. I'm telling you, I was able to leave my relationship because I have money. Literally, because I was like, that I'm free. I don't have to stay with you. You can't dangle something over my head. Additionally, with the idea of, oh, well, staying, I don't have to go to college and I can be stress-free and I can stay on with kids. In what world is having children and being a stay-at-home parent stress-free? That is one of the hardest jobs I have ever read on. So many people talk about, my mom was a stay-at-home mom. It is a 24/7 job. It is a constant exhaustion of yourself and your resources, and without having a resume to prove any of that, without having these transferable skills, unfortunately, that a job will take seriously, without having any protections, without having a piece of paper like a degree, without having anything, but your partner has a job, but your partner has a thriving business, right? If they're thriving and you have nothing and he leaves you, you have no access to those assets. You have absolutely nothing. All you did was exhaust yourself to support this partner to grow and succeed. There's nothing protecting you. So it is the quite exact opposite of an opportunity. An opportunity is being able to go to college. An opportunity is being able to go to a trade school or doing something else and try and developing something on your own. An opportunity is being able to be financially supporting yourself. There's so many other opportunities out there that are beautiful. And also what's so sad is I think this group of people are too young to understand, or just don't have the access to the knowledge to realize that there are so many opportunities out there for people that are so much different and can be really, really fun compared to like being a stay-at-home girlfriend. Like, I'm telling you right now, my horizons have been broadened simply because I've made a wide variety of friends from a wide variety of backgrounds, learning their jobs, their goals, their experiences. Like, I'm not kidding. I had one friend, Xavier. I love her to death, my girl. If you ever see this, no, just know I love you dearly, okay? And we sat down, we had dinner one time, we were just chit-chatting and we were talking about our life experiences. And she talked to me about her backpacking through Europe and all these fun things. And she was like, oh, I did it really cheaply and I did it this way, but I had a job here and here. And I was like, damn, why haven't I done that shit? That sounds fun. And now I'm literally working on trying to plan on just booking trips in the future if I can do that, and trying and experiencing the world more because I want to know more about the world. So if you're around other people who are outside of you, like for example, if you did go to college, it would be able to broaden your horizons of possibilities that are endless, that would make you go, oh my God, this would be really cool.
My stay-at-home girlfriend, I'm 19 years old. My opinions about some other things that people probably won't like. Number one is that I think men should pay for literally everything. Like, literally everything. I think they should pay for the house, for every single dinner, your gas, anything, any bills that you have, I think men should pay for. If any man goes 50-50 with you, that's not a man. 100% not a man. I think college is a scam unless you're actually going to be a nurse or a doctor or something like that. Then yes, go to college. But if you're doing some...
All right. Oh my God. Okay. I'm pausing this right here. Number one, I think a man should pay for everything. This is really back and forth for some people, depending on certain relationship dynamics. But also, this is what irks me about some of these content creators is they put blanket statements, and I hate that. For example, I'm going to use myself as an example for this. I am very grateful. I'm financially well off, and I'm very, very grateful for it. I do not take that for granted. I also want a partner that is financially well off. I do not want to expect them to pay for everything. I don't find that makes sense for me. I also know that my job gives me additional perks and things like that. I like supporting each other. I like gift giving, but that is not something that I want. Now, as I can date anyone, if I were to, let's say, be in a partner in a relationship with a man, I also do not want them to think that they have to pay for everything. And if they don't, they are not a good enough man. I don't like that. I also don't like it because there are many, many different relationship dynamics. And I don't think that those are invalid or not good enough because again, again, that causes more toxicity. But this kind of content is not only harmful to women, but it's just harmful with perspectives on relationships in general. And when we have younger and younger women thinking this way, it's gonna cause problems. It's genuinely gonna cause serious dating problems and relationship problems by having toxic advice like this. That's why I was saying this was kind of connected to like the pink pill video that I want to make, because this stuff has become a bigger issue. Second of all, college is not a scam. The price of it, I agree, as someone who paid for my school, yeah, but college and furthering your education, absolutely not. Getting an education is not wrong. The price of it is the problem. I'm telling y'all right now, if I had more time, I'd go and get my master's. I'm not even kidding right now. I don't have that time right now, and I would rather enjoy life since I kind of wore myself out for since I could work. So we're doing that, but maybe someday, right? I think that'd be fun. But college is not a scam, and don't tell anyone otherwise. Absolutely not.
Bullshit major, I think it's a scam. And I think most people are brainwashed. They have to go to college when they really don't. My kids will start their own business at ages of like 7 and 10. They need to start a business. It's not allowed that you can't not own a business. I don't think kids should be in daycare. I think it's crazy that other people are literally raising your kids because your husband can't make enough money to make you stay at home.
Again, this is someone who's not even a wife, a stay-at-home girlfriend. And sorry, respectfully, but at the same time, this is going to sound disrespectful as hell. This is a teenager. The word teen is still in her name. You are not even legally old enough to drink. And I don't think Hertz will rent out a car to you. So that's what I'm saying. Like, this is to me kind of crazy that we're trying to make life decisions and shame other people for choices. And this is kind of what's connected to my elitist perspective, is some people inherently start shitting on women who are single, don't have children, and do it a different way because they want to feel good about themselves, because they so badly want to think that their way of life is the best and they need to feel power in some way, especially if they have no power in home. They got to find it somewhere else. And that's where I think this is kind of coming from. We see content that is incredibly shameful of everyone else. Having your child in daycare is not wrong. Oh my God. Someone's raising your kid for sake. So if grandma were to watch the baby, it's fine, but somebody else is not okay. What happened to the concept of it takes a village to raise a child? Like, there is nothing wrong with community and supporting women. Why do we want to force women to suffer and do it all by themselves? Additionally, no, it is not wrong of, well, your man just doesn't make enough money. It is expensive to live right now. It is very consistent that we see a 2-income household because of how expensive this stuff is. It's also getting to a point where it's not exactly feasible for most people to live off of one income because of how expensive shit is. So again, we should not be taking advice from a stay-at-home girlfriend and someone who is trying to shame other people for their life choices. This is not a realistic take, but this is what we're seeing in this type of content. Also, the perspective that kids have to start businesses at age 7 and 10. Oh my God, no. Like, literally, what business? Why would they need to? There's no need for that. This is trying to make kids make massive decisions at very young ages when they should just be existing and learning habits and skills from you. They don't need to do that. Also, it is a huge responsibility to start a business, hence why I haven't done it. Like, what? So to really wrap it up, I want to kind of encompass a lot of other points I didn't get to mention in this video because, again, I think they're really important and they're not highlighted in this. One, there's a lot of glorification, as we've seen in this niche, that is really highlighting all the positives, and that is going to lead to a lot of people influenced and get into potentially dangerous situations. Because, again, we are only seeing a highlight reel of somebody's life. We are not seeing the reality of how things can go badly. And on the slim chance this is actually safe and wonderful, regardless, there's still no protections, nor should anyone be encouraged to blindly throw themselves into being a stay-at-home girlfriend. It's just not a smart choice, and I'm never going to be behind that. I do not care. Oh, I don't want to work. You're going to work in other ways, and you're going to pay in other ways. But again, it's not being treated as actual work or paying for something simply because you're staying at home. We're not thinking of the other sacrifices that can happen simply because you're in this position. Also, for a lot of these other younger people who are like 19, 20, you cannot expect a 19-year-old boyfriend or 20-year-old boyfriend, 23-year-old boyfriend to support you financially. That's fucking crazy. Genuinely. And it's already hard to get a job. It's already hard to get yourself out of the world. It is incredibly difficult. So having these expectations is also unrealistic as well. And so that also kind of leads me to think that there are many younger women who are going to have older men in relationships. And I'm telling you right now, like, when I see a 19-year-old and then they're like, oh my God, my 37-year-old boyfriend, there is a reason why that 37-year-old cannot get a woman his age. Older men wanting to get younger and younger girls because they think that this is normal. And I promise you, this is is not safe or normal. I swear it's not. Another thing I want to say is quitting school, giving up that full ride scholarship, moving so much and changing your life drastically for a man because he wants to keep you is not normal. I would never turn down a job opportunity for a man. I would never turn a job opportunity down for a partner in general. I would have never not gone to college if my partner said so. I would have never stopped because my life is my life. It's not theirs. It's my choice and my decision, and I need to act that way. And what your goal and focus should be is to find a partner that aligns with you and doesn't try and take things away from you in that way. Because honestly speaking, it is taking certain aspects from you. It's slowly clipping your wings so that you aren't going to be able to escape in the future. And that is really scary. Moral of the story, there's a lot of very, very young people trying to give life advice, business advice, and trying to encourage you to think that being a stay-at-home girlfriend is a phenomenal choice. And you are going to be wasting all of these years and lack of resources. And then let's say that doesn't work out because, again, marriages, there's a high chance that they don't work. There are chances that your partner may end up not liking you. There's a chance you guys may end up being not compatible. There's a chance you simply change your mind, which is very valid. This is not a sustainable way of living because you're betting on somebody else's success and wins and a whole other young individual to protect you. And that is not a good idea. At least with other people who are wanting to become trad wives, I'm trying to encourage prenups and education and getting things for yourself so you have something to fall back onto. This is completely wiping any backup plan because your man is your backup plan, and a man should never be a backup plan for you. You should be a backup plan for you. And again, I'd like to tell you that I live by myself. I'm incredibly grateful for that. I have a phenomenal job. I have phenomenal friends in life, and I am not trapped. There's no way where I am stuck because I would rather have the hardest day of being a hardworking woman than a hellish day being with a partner and I have no freedoms. I really, really think people need to sit back and reevaluate where things can go wrong and look at the pros and cons of everything, because sacrificing your education, your future for a man is not a good decision. But as we see with where they're trying to say, oh my God, have babies, more babies than you can afford, get married younger, because it fulfills their need for more kids in the workforce. It fulfills their need of you being stuck and doing what's right and what your calling is. And that is not a way to live. You can be fulfilled and have an amazing relationship without doing all that. You can have a partner that chooses you every single day without you having to be stuck at home. You can also give amazing aspects and things and be a fulfilling partner as they can be for you without you being stuck. There's many ways that this can work, but the last thing I want is for a young teenager thinking that this is a great choice and life choice. A man is not a career choice, okay? That is a very, very scary thing that's going to end really bad for you, statistically speaking, and I never, never want that for anyone. And even if the guy wants you, he also could be an awful piece of shit. I mean, God, I had an ex that wanted me real bad, and I was begging to get away from him. So I'm just saying, there are many ways that this can go wrong. So as we see, this is a big wave of crazy propaganda happening right now with trad wives, stay-at-home girlfriends, and the stay-at-home girlfriend is just the start and pipeline for very, very young girls to go into a very sad and miserable life where they are stuck and they have no way of getting out. And the last thing I want is for anyone to do that. If you're wanting to do the trad wife route, please get things for yourself. Please get a prenup and protection. Anyways, that was it for today's video. That was a lot. That really stresses me out seeing so many young women wanting to jump into that and content trying to push propaganda to make people think that that is a very safe choice. What do you guys think? Comment down below your thoughts, perspectives, if you guys have any experiences of your own. Have a great week. Stay safe. I love you all, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.